Morning, YouTubers. It's the ride to work. Don't be in a hurry, fella. Well, this morning I'm going to continue my exposition on why I believe America to be the end-time Babel, the daughter of Babel, as it were. And I'm going to go into the book of Jeremiah, in the 50 and 51st chapters. There's a pronouncement given against the Babel, the great Babel, or the daughter of Babylon. And I suggest for any of you who care that you go and read this book for yourself and see that it isn't so, because I'm just going to touch on a few points that I find particularly striking. And so that I don't get too sidetracked, I will refrain from talking about my, the impressions of the redeemed of Israel coming out of Babylon. I'll save that for later. But if you don't believe that America has a lot of idols, I don't know what to tell you, because the television is an idol. It gives you your ideas, it gives you your beliefs. Most people think that they come to their own ideas, and yet you see people twittering to each other at the water cooler about the same shit. It's because they're getting their ideas from the television. There isn't a single thought most people have that hasn't been given to them, either through the television or the radio or some other media. And to some degree, I guess that includes me, but I know that I come to my own conclusions because I do my own research. I don't just listen, just regurgitate what I hear on the lame stream of media. But before I belabor that, this country has a lot of idols. There are a lot of things that people put before the Creator, and this is supposed to be a country that was founded on Judeo-Christian values. Yeah, founded, perhaps, but not clinged to, not coveted jealously. But one of the striking things in Jeremiah's exposition of the Babel is that in verse 12, actually in verse 9, an assembly of nations will be gathered against her, and they will shoot fiery arrows at her out of the north. And I've spoken about it before, that America's going to get burned up in a nuclear inferno. I mean, we're the ones who unleashed that plague, that abomination on Nagasaki and Hiroshima, and then proceeded to posture with the things, with nuclear detonations all over our country and in the ocean, thus provoking the other nations and causing them to do the same thing. And the northern hemisphere has become largely polluted with radiation from those nuclear experiments and tests. And, you know, we have to atone for that posturing. So when we, you know, it's not hard to figure out that Russia doesn't even need to send nuclear sailing vessels to come and blow up the United States. They'll just launch their rockets over the North Pole, and they will come out of the north and blow us up. That is the path of least resistance. And it's my understanding of the book, the people of the Babylon will be in a state of confusion, that they will be fighting amongst themselves and not paying any attention to what's going on. But beyond that, in verse 12, Jeremiah refers to this Babylon as the last of the nations, or the completeness of the nations. And in case you didn't know this, all the land masses have been discovered, and nations have been set up, or colonies have been set up through nations, thus making them proxies of the one nation. And if you didn't know this, in the New World Order, there is no place for the nation state. Everything is going to be centralized. We will be hubbed into regions of centralized control, and there will be no nations. There might be nations in name, but they will not be in charge of their own laws. And it's already done. That's already done. America doesn't exist except in people's minds. We are already in the New World Order, and we have been the policemen of the world, spreading democracy to the nations, which is bullshit. We haven't spread anything to the nations except tyranny. We've overthrown regimes and put in dictators time and time and time and time again. Some nations, we've done it multiple times. We get tired of a guy, throw him under the bus and put somebody else in there. Anybody gets uppity, tries to pay off their debts, Saddam Hussein, Gaddafi. Well, the good old US of A gets sent in, or the US of A through their proxies, their missionary, their what is it? You know what I'm saying? The hired guns, mercenaries, missionary, mercenaries. What's the difference? You know, we send our proxies in, and if our proxies can't get the job done, then we go in. And if you think NATO has any strength without the United States, you're sadly mistaken. The United States is NATO. And thus, you know, Jeremiah refers to that nation as the hammer of the nations, and how it will be dashed to pieces and cut off. Well, if this nation is not the hammer of the nations, by what I just said, I don't know what. I don't know what. In verse 40, Elohim states through his prophet that the nation will be smote like he did Sodom and Gomorrah. Well, last time I checked, Sodom and Gomorrah were burned with fire. They were burned to the point where they were ash. Those ruins of ash still stand to this day. But no one dwells there because the earth is utterly ruined. Nothing grows there. Nothing grows there. The only thing in my mind that can cause such devastation, such total ruination, is a nuclear detonation. So the people will come out from the nations of their origin, because there will be no prosperity anymore. There will be nothing growing here anymore. There will be nothing for them. And the children of Israel will cry out and look to Zion and come back to her weeping. I wonder why. I wonder why. Verse 7 of 51st chapter, it talks about how Babylon has made the nations mad with the wine of her fornication. And that's exactly what this nation has done. It has driven the nations mad through her abundance. And this sort of keeping up with the Joneses nonsense. But her plans are a ruin. You look at Agenda 21. So she will be ruined before the plans can be brought to fruition. For if those plans do come to fruition, no life shall be left on this blessed earth. It also speaks of the nation that's dwelling upon many waters. Well, that can be taken two ways. It can be taken quite literally, or it can be taken figuratively. I'll be right back.